we had time, I would have pulled it up today, but I didn't. Maybe we can talk about it more in depth next week. But former Congresswoman, Tulsi Gabbard spoke at America Fest with Turning Point in December, and there's a clip of hers that she uploaded, and it was very eye-opening because it relates to this kind of notion that the current Democratic Party doesn't care about the Bill of Rights. They care about the fake rights that they've invented, but not the Bill of Rights. And she was actually talking about it was her first year in Congress as a Democrat in 2013. She'd just been sworn in, and she actually had actually, you know what? I'm actually going to pull it up because it relates to this, and I think it's going to make a good segue, and I have it here.
And around the time of Constitution Day, I got an email saying, hey, you're invited to come to the House floor to be a part of reading the Constitution into the congressional record. I thought, this is awesome. What a great tradition, so that year after year, we're reminded of that oath that we took and what it actually means. So I went down and participated in it. I didn't see very many of my Democrat colleagues there. And so later on, I went and talked to them, and I asked them, like, hey, this was really cool. I was stoked to be a part of this. Did you not get the email? The answer I got was quite condescending. They said, Tulsi, we know you're new here. You don't really quite get how this place works. We don't participate in that because that's a right-wing Republican thing. I was not only shocked, but pretty disheartened and saddened by that response. But now, as we look at their actions year after year and escalating, especially over these last few years, what they said is actually borne fruit. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the vision that our founders had for this country. They are so blinded by their hunger, this insatiable hunger for power, that they are putting their selfish interests above everything else. And they are launching this all-out assault on our God-given rights and freedom.
So there you go.
Wow.
Respecting the Constitution is a right-wing Republican thing. There you have it.
Wow.
There you have it. I don't know if you'd seen that before. Had you seen that before or not?
No, I had not.
Pretty,
and that
pretty
is absolutely astounding because the Constitution is the law of the land.
Yeah, and everybody swears. No matter what party you're on, you're swearing an oath to uphold the Constitution.
To uphold the and it amazes me because we get on TikTok but I constantly ask people, what constitutional rights are being removed, and they can never name a constitutional right. They don't understand it, right? And that's astounding to me because the Constitution. First of all, the Constitution is such an astounding document. It saddens me that people don't understand what a radical idea that equality of men was at the time that was written, when everything was ruled by dictators and kings and a ruling class.
In fact, you would even say that the founders were some of the most progressive people.
Yeah. And we're going backwards because look at Chris Matthews.
It's that kind of feudal mindset. Those peasants out in the field, they don't know what's going on.
They don't know what's best for them. They don't know well, that's like when people tell me as a conservative woman, you vote against your own rights. And they're always talking about abortion. And I always say, I do not have the right to end another human life. I'm not voting against my own rights. Okay? Because that's not a right. That's not a right in the Constitution. You can argue that you're pro-abortion, but you cannot argue that it is a right.
That is the right. Exactly.
I am constantly astounded to have conversations with people on the Constitution. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they have no idea the founding of this country. They say the most ridiculous things. Yeah. And so our schools are not exceptional now, but our schools should be.
Well, one of the things, I mean, you were involved in that argument with that bozo.
You're going to have to narrow it way down.
Well, I think you'll recognize the comment. He said, well, I don't know, but maybe he wasn't in this exchange with you, but somebody said to me, I know you made some replies to him too. It was the guy who we were talking to about abortion. Who said that's different DNA and all that nonsense. That'll be another podcast episode. But he told me when I referenced the founding principles in our Declaration about unalienable rights endowed by our Creator that can't be taken away. He told me that that the founding principles in the Declaration and I quote, he said, have nothing to do with the Constitution. He said they're totally separate.
No.
He said,
No, they're not.
he said the words that I was referencing from the Declaration, because they're not in the Constitution, it means they're irrelevant to the Constitution. No, and
No.
he doesn't understand the founding. The Declaration was the framework through which you have to view and apply the Constitution.
Yeah, and the Declaration of Independence was a promise to the colonies that said, this is what we stand for. If you fight with us against England in this revolution,
we're going to protect. Yes.
Yes, these are the rights we're going to give you. These are the rights we're going to protect. It is the firing salvo over the bow that told England to step off, and was a promise made to the colonists that we, the wealthy who are funding this war and want this, are not going to make ourselves a ruling class. We're not going to establish ourselves as that. So the Declaration of Independence, and again, is one of the most radical documents.
It's one of the most radically progressive documents. I mean, I want to use that word because it will drive people on the left crazy to think that our founding was progressive. Our founding was radically progressive.
Yes. Yes. It was something that, if you go back and look at the number of people who wrote about the American experiment, it was crazy at that time. People just couldn't believe what was happening. But it is the promise to the colonists that we will not rule you. You will be self-governed. Exactly. And to say that, as she said, that we don't believe in the Constitution is to say we believe we're a ruling class. We don't believe in individual rights.
And I think seeing somebody who's an American citizen say the Declaration is completely divorced in meaning from and significance from the Constitution, that proves the school systems have failed. I mean, I think there's nothing more clear than hearing somebody say that. If they could get through secondary education, get through all their U.S. history courses, and think that the Declaration has nothing to do with our Constitution.
Well, not only that they think the government gives us our rights, protects our rights, and that our rights are defined by laws, and they don't understand that our rights are defined by the Constitution, and that laws then protect those rights. I don't know what school you're going to, but if you paid for a college education, you got ripped off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know what else to say.
100% agree.